And the third map between these two guys down here in the bottom right. Of course, it is GosuWser playing as Zerg, representing Team Millennium. There he is. We're actually getting a lot of back of the head shots today.
Yeah, we
I haven't
are.
seen too many grins. GosuWser was the first grin we've seen.
You know.
Imagine if someone made a compilation of all these players and just the back of their heads.
The back of the heads. Yeah, we
All
could
of it.
use that as their profile pictures and stuff.
Dreamhack Open 2013.
I would love to see that. And in fact, down here in the bottom left, we do have GosuWser.
That's right.
Hopefully we can look at the back of his head a little bit, and there it is.
Side of his.
Decent haircut there, a little bit of a bowl cut going on. I don't want to wolf it up or anything, but yeah.
Team Awesome.
Awesome gaming.
Team Awesome Gaming.
Yeah.
It's a great team name. So, are we going to have a 2-Rex or not?
Well, no, definitely not going to be a
Command Center
2-Rex.
first here, Autosis, I think.
Yeah, this does look like Command Center first to me, and I'm a bit surprised by that.
Well, it looks like he might be trying to play this out long here. What do you think about the positions for both these players? Remember, it is a 4-player map, can spawn in any corner, bottom left and bottom right.
I think this isn't the absolute best positions for GosuWser. I think that this is kind of the middle of the road positions. If I'm GosuWser, I think that I want him in the top left in relation to me, so that my medevacs have a cleaner shot into his main base. And of course, if I'm GosuWser, I want to be diagonal, as far away as Zergly possible.
I feel like you bring up a good point with the limitation of medevacs here, because there's usually 2 ways to get into a Zerg base, 2 different angles to come from, and there's this south one going from the west to the east here will be shut off. He's not going to expand to the left. Once he finds out where GosuWser is, he'll naturally expand to the right. And he'll just defend the natural with a couple of spores and spines, and that is a no-go area.
Yeah.
And then it's just one dimension coming from the top right of this map now, which will limit the amount of drop potential we could be seeing from GosuWser.
You want to go a little bit deeper here, Apollo?
Yeah, let's.
Because of these positions and the fact that drops are going to be vastly inferior in these spots for GosuWser, I want to see GosuWser go for Infestors instead of Mutas. He can hold every frontal push, and the weakness against drops that Infestors normally provide your strategy is going to be much negated. Not completely negated, but much negated.
And the benefits from that means you're going to have these Ultralists out a lot faster.
Oh, yes, you are.
They'll become deadly a lot earlier.
If GosuWser goes Infestor this game,
yeah, that would be,
he's got a new fan in Artosis.
That would be quite big. That would be a big play if he was to do something like that. That's just going against the grain completely. We'll see. That's going to be the case. Speed is being researched early here for GosuWser, and there is actually a small opportunity to do damage. Whether he'll take it or not is the Ling surround on the bunker. That's the only kind of damage he can do. I don't know if he's going to try it, because the way that the bunker's placed is going to be a part of a wall-off, which Fuse is building here.
Yeah, we'll see how many Lings he actually ends up wanting to make, because he is taking a quick third. So I think he'll probably make a nice little group at least. But already Fuse are starting to make those depots, realizing that that's the weakness of his strategy.
And they're really early. That's slowing down the command center. He's actually playing very... And there's the Lings coming!
This was good by Fuse.
Wow.
Really nice.
This is really big for GosuWser here. And GosuWser goes up and is like, oh, crap. Because, I mean... It's there. There's a wall, and these Lings are useless.
I think you just nailed it, because 22 Lings is 11 drones.
Oh, my God.
He definitely...
That's painful.
Basically, Fuser has negated the usefulness of those Lings, and
God.
I think I understand GosuWser's brain now. Because he is looking at this and saying, oh, you have a wall in like that. Well, I think he's actually going to go for another Roach Baneling little attack.
Yeah.
Bust up the supply depots, break through there, kind of like what we saw before on Aklon Waste.
Do you think that he's doing this because that he felt that he's playing from behind now? Because he could have had 11 drones extra.
I think so. I think that that's completely okay to look at that and say, oh, crap, I already made these Lings to try to get that strong you were talking about, Sean. And now he's decided, well, I've got to use them for something, and I think that I can be at least even after this attack. And I think that this is a good assessment by him of the situation, if he so chooses to do so.
Well, we'll see, because behind this, Fuser's got his double engineering base down. He did get another barracks in before the engineering base there. Be able to produce a few more units, but the goal right now for Fuser is to find out what the hell is going on. He's seen these Zerglings out there, and already that's you're questioning why they're there in the first place. You know, he didn't see them being morphed earlier, and now he has to go find out what exactly is going on. And of course, Game 1 must be repeating in his head right now.
And in fact, when he sees these roaches, and again, they look defensive. Look at the stance that they have. This looks like the defensive roaches again, but Fuser already lost to this once, or at least took significant damage and lost that game once. So I think Fuser this game is going to play it a little bit safer up there.
Yeah, he's starting Widowmine production very early here. He had an extra barracks before the engineering base this time as well, so he's taking small little precautions, changing his build up a little bit. And I think if it comes, which it looks like it still is, he's going to be ready this time.
Well, it definitely is coming. That Baneling that's going to be finishing up. He's got plenty of gases. We should see some big spikes in Zergling production coming up pretty soon here.
It's a long way for the lair to come in, though, if he wants to hit with Baneling speed and Roach speed, though.
He just started 2 evolution chambers, so he's actually...
I think he had them at the same time last time, though. I'm not sure. They might have been a little bit later.
Okay, no, I think you're actually right. I think it was actually this time last time. I was getting a little bit too excited. But no, this is... Okay, so he is really quite repeating what we saw in that first game. And I think that this is probably, just his response overall, because Zerg overall a more responsive race, so he probably looks at the situation and deems it that this is really nice against that type of wall and against the current metagame of what Terrans are doing.
It's a really good timing. I feel Terran's very soft at this point, excluding the fact that they'll have 1-1, but their actual unit count isn't that high at this point. The reactors are still just about finishing up, so they're only just now starting to increase their army strength. So that timing, that window of opportunity, which clearly GosuWser is looking to go for with the unit production spiking up again, is getting smaller, second by second, as the army gets larger and larger here.
By the way, Apollo, a quick question to you. Yes. Your flavor, your taste on this subject. Look at the third base Fuser has taken.
Yes.
Do you like that position, or should he have expanded away from the Zerg?
I actually quite like this, because it keeps the pressure on.
Yeah.
Your reinforcements are going in that direction towards your opponent. And if he had gone the other way, I think that he's looking for that fourth base as a planetary. Yeah. But I much prefer this as a standpoint for where he can swing and pivot left and right.
I completely do agree with you on all of these points, Apollo. He knows that he's going to have to do constant push pressure because of the positions on the map, and this is going to be the best location for him to walk through. It's almost like a free defense of the base.
Yeah, and with the high ground too, it's so good to be able to sit down and look onto your opponent. But, well, look at GosuWser's army.
Well, that army's going to have to be picked up. Right now, I feel like GosuWser probably should just... Well, I guess he should go in here and try to mess it up, but Fuser needs to pick that stuff up immediately.
I feel that Fuser, I mean, he's going to be able to pick these units up, but he needs to keep his opponent back. I'd be picking these up and dropping them in the main base.
Yeah.
Like, he has to bide more time. It looks like he's dropping... Oh, no, that's a Viking. Sorry, never mind. I was going to say it looks like a drop, but he hasn't got enough Widowmines at home to defend this.
No, he does not. And in fact, he should have picked up right away. And as you said, bring it to the main base, because that is going to force either a semi-base trade scenario or GosuWser going home. And now we actually are going to have a huge frontal attack coming up from GosuWser.
Oh my god, this is going to be quite heavy here. The Banelings are coming in already, and down goes the bunker. There's a couple of Widowmines there, but I don't think there's enough.
Uh-oh, and in fact, Fuser microing backwards right now. That is so many Banelings rolling forward. Now, we do have a couple Widowmines there, and beautiful connections on those Widowmines.
Oh, these Widowmines are just saving saving Fuser here, and another good hit. And from the high ground of Medivacs, it looks like he's going to be able to hold this.
It certainly
does. No, actually,
well, never mind. That's a lot of Zerglings coming out, and in fact, the SCV is pulling bold. And a lot of Banelings being morphed. It looks like this game should be going to GosuWser here.
Yeah,
just not enough for Fuser to hold on.
Well, The Roaches and Banelings, how many SCVs has he lost is the big point here? Down to 35. So even if he does manage to just about hold on, 35 SCVs to 63 drones. Again, a successful attack here. And with Lings on the third as well?
No, this is game over, man. Really, even though we see here that Fuser has a lot of supply left over, I'm so much happier with the position of GosuWser, right? Fuser literally has to go across the map right now and do damage, I feel. I think that that is the only possibility for him possibly coming back and winning this game. He has a lot of medevacs. Maybe he can get over there and do some damage, because right now that army is being refueled so quickly for GosuWser.
Looking at this game and thinking of game one as well, is that I still feel that this was in Fuser's reach. Easily, to some extent. I feel that the drop in the main could have changed a lot.
Yes,
because if he doesn't come to defend it, he loses all his drones, and then you don't have this massive drone advantage. So even if the damage was done, it wouldn't be as big of a difference between the work account here. And then the Widowmine production wasn't consistent, I don't think, either.
And this is also a very metagame-ish build from GosuWser.
Yeah.
Because if Fuser actually really pays attention to the units that GosuWser's making, he can make 2, maybe 3 siege tanks before he gets there. And let me tell you something, what that attack would look like against siege tanks. It would be a joke.
It would be. It would be. So the way that GosuWser's playing this out is risky to a certain extent, but it's working here, as he does have this lead. Not a massive supply lead here, but it doesn't really matter at this stage. He's got such a good economy. His upgrades are kicking in as well. He's about to finish with the Spire and the Ruthless coming out too. And I think at this point, I wouldn't be mistaken if there weren't turrets, because that's something that you'd be maybe looking to skip. There is a turret on the third base, not in the main though.
Yeah. That could be a little bit rough. You know, I see a lot of reactors in there. I see a lot of valuable things that can be attacked very quickly. But again, Fuser can keep the aggression on because of his third base choice. It kind of defends there. So we'll see if he can maybe get some good Widow Mines off. But again, where it's just like that game before, where the Widow Mines are going to be so important. What do they hit? Yeah,
the Widow Mines can save, and they can also kill Fuser here. A good detonation to start with. A second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth detonation goes down really well. And Fuser does fight a lot of that back.
You know, he actually got some good hits with the Widow Mines, but they all died, which is a huge issue. Only a few Marines left here. More. The Banelings going in, trying to hit the Marines. Some do hit Marauders, but others hit Marines as well. And these mutas being pretty annoying right now.
Yeah, this third base has been compromised. There's so many SCVs have gone down once again here, dropping down to lower than, or just about 30 SCVs. Fuser's holding on, but not by much at this point, with more and more units coming out. 2-2 Banelings coming through, excuse me. This is only going to get more and more difficult because there's double the income for GosuWser.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. And in fact, every single time now he's getting completely surrounded by a vastly superior army. And those medevacs can only boost so much. The muta's starting to pick some off.
Yeah, and well, in comes the Lings again to this third base. Baneling's still alive, and looks like they're going to get a good connection here if he gets the surround. Fuser tries to pick up, it doesn't work, and the majority of units die here, and it looks like GosuWser is going to be able to clamp his victory on a first-place finish.
You know, once again, with that very powerful timing attack, this is something that GosuWser's future Terran opponents are going to have to look out for. You're going to have to scout that he's doing it and get some siege tanks. That's really going to be the best way to stop it. You can't just play completely within the current metagame.
GG. Fuser calls out, and GosuWser takes the 2-1 victory and goes 3-0 in his group.